Wow. Like, you can't make this up at all. So, as you can see in this picture, you got Monique, who has been under a little bit of fire because, and I say a little bit because, the vocal minority, you know how that goes. She's been under a little fire because of her distaste of seeing black women dressed in pajamas and hair bonnets in places of business. Not being, prideful in their appearance. The same stuff that it's funny that black men we can't say because, man, the floodgates will open. And there's a lot of black men who will tell you this, that they have been lambasted, they have been yelled at, they've been all types of things for telling women about their health, about their parents. These are the same women who tell me I could do whatever I want. It's my body, it's my looks, but then turn around and talk about how black men don't appreciate their natural beauty. I'm like, show us. And when we say natural, we're not talking about dressed down, looking like you just rolled out of bed, going outside. This is what we're talking about. So Monique made this publicly known in I think an Instagram video or Twitter video. And now you got a clown like Ludacris, and who's this other dude? I don't know who the hell he is. I forgot who he is. Now they wearing their bonnets in support of black women. Now, look at Ludacris. Ludacris, this is the same dude that had a baby with another female when he was on break from, I think, his now wife. So I see this whole thing as you being attack dogs, being the lackeys, being the damage controllers. And I say I don't trust any brother who don't hold his women accountable. I don't trust none of your motives. A lot of you are in this just because you want to make sure that kitty cage stay open for you. Like, case in point, look at this right here. What you reading right here is from a person I know on social media, on Facebook, Mr. Hotep. So this is what he does to boost up black women instead of telling them the truth about themselves, right? You will put men collectively under the bus to make these women feel better about themselves. They didn't try to change the whole subject about reparations. Brother, they have, the government that is, have shown us their ass to kiss, especially when they pass the Asian hate crime bill with no hesitations. How many years have things been happening to us? How many massacres have been happening? We talking about Tulsa, Oklahoma 100 years ago, but let's go even further back with the Devil's Punch Bowl in Natchez, Mississippi, where post-Civil War 20,000 freed black slaves were killed due to starvation or being overworked. But you don't learn about that in school. I'm not making it up. Look up the Devil's Punch Bowl, put in Natchez, Mississippi. I kid you not. And there's been many others. Many others. But meanwhile, back on subject here, you see the deflection about how it's always the women being put above us, and then you wonder why they're entitled and they have this whole mindset like they don't need to change anything about themselves. But the same clown who will write something like this is the same one who will support Kevin Samuels. I'm sorry, Kevin Samuels can say it, right? Because he has an established fan base and you're living vicariously through him. But in the meantime, you don't have a backbone to actually stand up and hold black women mutually accountable for the shit that they do. And this is my problem I have. Truth be told, Monique, I didn't agree with her on that whole, how she went up on the Breakfast Club and everything. I don't find her that funny of a comedian. I don't. I'm not going to sit here like, oh my God, she's the greatest thing ever made right now. I really don't find her that funny as a comedian. But she has a point here. She has a point. Definitely. I've been saying this for years. How many times have I been on calls and it has been a child involved and this is what you say? I just came in the house about 2 hours ago and on my way here, around the corner from my house, woman sitting out there with a bonnet on her head and a long sleeping gown on, like the sleeveless ones that's as long as a skirt, outside in front of the house in the apartment building. And then you got a clown like Ludacris with a bonnet on his head, Chad Ochocinco. I'm surprised the nigga head could fit in the goddamn bonnet. Ask Evelyn Lozada about the strength of that forehead. What Mike Epps said? Mike Epps said the nigga head looked like the Dolphins helmet. All you gotta do is paint the logo. You gotta paint the logo on the side of it. That's how big the nigga head is. Head button checks. You see, he's always somebody who got vices. Like I said early in the video, I mean, everybody got vices. I mean, they always got some agenda. There's always got some atonement, blindly following shit like this. Like I said, Ludacris had a baby on the side on his, I think they married now? I don't know. Chad has that reputation of abusing Evelyn Lozada. You see, you always gonna find people like that. And then you have the hoteps that always want to be like, you know what? Black woman is the greatest woman on the planet. And in a lot of cases, I agree. But, who's raising a lot of these little dysfunctional snot-nosed punks out here and these little thoughts? Who's raising them on their own? Because they felt like they wanted to be baby mama number 9 to a guy who didn't take care of babies 1 through 8. And then it's all Ben's problem. We need to do better. That's the most deflective, disingenuous response I've seen and heard in a long time coming from black men. We need to do better. Really? But you won't call out what needs to be called out. It's always some sort of deflection. Like some dude posted earlier, George Floyd should have complied. I'm like, if they found what in his system? I'm an EMT. I know I'm not a doctor, but I've worked with a lot of people to know when you're on the influence of drugs, you're what they considered an altered mental status. Police, where I come from here in Jersey City, will call the EMTs to the scene. EMTs assess the patient, and you'll find out that the patient's altered. We request ALS, which is paramedics. And then that's how that's handled. Not deprived from the scene, not deprived and denied access to a patient that's clearly high just because you want to put your knee on it. You know what? Let me shut up about that. But you see how a lot of Negroes act today? It is no problem for you to have views that are different and conservative, but come on, man. Don't speak on magic you don't understand. But it's always these males, man. When they got an agenda, they're going to show off. They're going to be all, yes, believe her. It's right. Let her do her thing. That's because you want to fuck her. That's all. It's because you want to fuck her. And me, like any other man, we love sex, but does it come at the sacrifice of your self-respect and your decency, or the decency of your women? That you will never call out anything she does wrong because you just want a place to hide the salami. You should be ashamed of yourself. Some of you, really, you should. Anyway, y'all, I'm out. Peace.